Welcome everyone. We are back with a new video, and as I had said in my last video that I'll be explaining the poem Palanquin Bearers by Sarojini Naidu today. So here I am. In my in the previous lesson we had already got an introduction on the background, rather the historical background and the poetic artistry of Sarojini Naidu, and today I will be explaining the poem Palanquin Bearers to you. Before I get into the explanation, I would like to read out the whole poem. Okay, before taking up the poem line by line, first let me read out the poem, listen to the poem very carefully, and then I will get into the analysis. Palanquin Bearers by Sarojini Naidu. Lightly, oh lightly, we bear her along. She sways like a flower in the wind of our song. She skims like a bird on the foam of a stream. She floats like a laugh from the lips of a dream. Gaily, oh gaily, we glide and we sing. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. Softly, oh softly, we bear her along. She hangs like a star in the dew of our song. She springs like a beam on the brow of the tide. She falls like a tear from the eyes of a bride. Lightly, oh lightly, we glide and we sing. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. So, you see, as I had discussed about the use of words, the choice of expressions by Sarojini Naidu was enough to bring out the emotions that that lie beneath the words of the poem, right? So over here also you see, the very moment I read out the poem, a very light, effervescent like quality had been created in our minds, right? The poem has before giving any kind of explanation, try to feel the emotion, try to feel the soothing, the calm and the quietness of the words that Sarojini Naidu had chosen. Now if you go through the entire poem, the very first thing that I would like to mention is that this poem is a fair specimen of the true folk song. As I had said, the folk theme was prevalent in most of Sarojini Naidu's poems, and Palanquin Bearers is one such poem. It recalls a common tradition. Yes, I had discussed about the palanquin, the tradition of carrying aristocratic ladies on palanquins in the 19th century. So this poem recalls a common tradition prevalent in India during the 19th century, right? And I had also told you these palanquin bearers, they practiced, they practiced, singing out or humming out, melodious songs on their own that had a very beautiful rhythm, just to break down the tiring effect of the long journeys that they used to undertake. Okay, and it was definitely another, it also had, I feel, another effect. Like if you sing and talk on a journey, because see, a bride over here, she was a bride, a newlywed bride. Things were all new to her, things were all alien to her. Even these men whom she didn't know at all, they were complete strangers to all. This this practice of singing and talking among themselves, it gave a sense of security to the woman who used to be in a palanquin. It used to give a sense of faithfulness, right? And of course, a bride who had various kinds of anxieties going on, beating on deep within her heart. The anxieties were also relieved to some extent, right? So on a whole, these palanquin bearers, they not only had the duty of protecting the honor of a woman, they also were responsible, for making the journeys energetic and enjoying as much as possible. Okay, so again, let me just read out the first two lines. Lightly, oh lightly, we bear her along. She sways like a flower in the wind of our song. See, it's so very light, it's so very delicate, the entire poem, the choice of words. It's like, it carries a dream-like effect in the expressions. All the expressions over here, they carry a dream-like effect. You can take down these points if you feel like, right? The poem imparts a dream-like effect on the minds of the readers. Okay. Now, if you as I was saying, the choice of words by Sarojini Naidu was very important for us. We have to look at the way she used expressions, she used words. See, over here also, throughout the entire poem, if you really look at the poem very carefully, you will find one thing, that is, over here, the entire poem has been written from the perspective of the bearers, okay? The poem, first of all, the poem has been written from the perspective of the bearers, right? All right. This and as I was telling you, the palanquin bearers were significant, or rather they were symbol of faithfulness. The Palanquin Bearers were symbols of strength. So the choice of words and expressions by Sarojini Naidu has a dreamlike effect in them, a light, very pleasant, and an effervescent quality in them. Okay, as like if you go through the lines right from the beginning, lightly, oh lightly, it creates a soothing effect on the mind of a reader. Okay, soothing, the words and the expressions undertaken by Sarojini Naidu they create a soothing effect on the mind of a reader. Right? So why dream am I saying? Because dream is nothing but a symbol of wish fulfillment, right? So over here, see the lady, the woman has been compared to a laugh, okay? A laugh from the lips of a dream. What do you mean by a laugh from the lips of a dream? When you have a very pleasant dream, okay, you feel satisfied and happy from within, right? A woman is also just as beautiful and pleasant as a dream. She has the qualities of fulfilling your wish. She is a symbol of wish fulfillment. You look at your mother, your sister, like a woman as a mother, as a sister, as a wife, as a daughter, always tries to fulfill the wishes of her family members around her to make her family beautiful, right? It's just like a dream. A dream has the capacity of bringing everything to you which you crave to achieve in reality, right? So a woman also has the capacity to bring everything to you, to the society, which otherwise feels something to be very difficult, or not very simple, not very easy to achieve. Okay, so the poet, through the words or through the song, through the verses of the Palanquin Bearers, have been able to impart that quality of wish fulfillment in this bride. The bride, on the other hand, you see again, she is a newlywed. She is going to her in-laws house with new dreams, with new expectations, okay? And she will also expectations of a new life, of a new beginning, isn't it? A woman is also a symbol of everything. She is a symbol of creation. Okay, she always creates, right? It is from a woman that a new life spurts. Okay, so she also had dreams within her, going expectations going in her, within her heart and mind. So she, on one hand, she was experiencing the journey with new dreams brimming up to her mind on one hand, and on the other hand, she herself has been compared to a dream. Okay, she has been compared to a flower, she has been compared to a bird. Okay, apparently the poet has compared her to the elements of nature, but if we delve a little deeper, we would realize that it was basically we would realize that it was basically the happiness of the happiness that was prevalent in the hearts of the palanquin bearers. Okay, so apparently it might seem that the bride has been compared to nature, but on a deeper level it is actually the happiness of the palanquin bearers, which they were experiencing on carrying the bride on their palanquin, okay. It was the happiness that the palanquin bearers were experiencing. Isn't it? Palanquin bearers were experiencing. Now, why were they so happy? Because as I said, the woman was not a symbol of burden to them. It was not she was not a symbol of burden to them. She was not a symbol of separation. Rather they felt privileged to carry her on their palanquin. For them, she was an emblem of honor. Okay, she was an emblem of honor. All right, now see, on the other hand, you see, when we experience the beauties of Mother Nature, we feel very joyous deep within our hearts, isn't it? So similarly, the palanquin bearers were, they also felt cheerful in the jocund presence of the royal bride on their palanquin. She was as beautiful as the flowers dancing with the wind passing over them. She was as light and as free as a bird flying across the sky. So all these expressions, these were actually felt by the palanquin bearers. Okay, these were felt by the palanquin bearers. And over here, another thing I must mention, see in the line, lightly or lightly we bear her along, she sways like a flower in the wind of our song. This sentence reminds me of the poem Daffodils by William Wordsworth, isn't it? Over there, the poet Wordsworth had beautifully described the sprightly movement of the flowers in the on the lap of Mother Nature. So a woman is also full of energy. A woman is also spriteful. Okay, so all the sentences, the comparisons to a flower, to a bird, they all indicate, or they all bring out the spriteful nature of a woman. This bride also, why has she been compared to a dancing flower? One, of course, for the movement. The palanquin bearers were taking, they were moving, there was a rhythm to their movement. So of course, if you move on a palanquin, there will be a swaying effect, right? A swaying effect apparently, but on a deeper level she was brimming with new dreams. She was feeling very happy deep within her soul. Yes, definitely she was sad for leaving her parental, her parents' house, but on the other hand she was also brimming with new expectations, right? New expectations to start a new life. She floats like a laugh from the lips of a dream, gaily, oh gaily. Happily we glide and we sing, we bear her along like a pearl on a string. Take a note of the word pearl. Why has she been compared? Why has she been compared to a pearl? Because pearl during those days was priceless, right? Pearls were very, very difficult to obtain, and hence pearls were priceless, and which the ladies craved for. Okay, and so as I was discussing, these faithful and righteous men, they had the sole mission to safely take the lady to her destination, and it was as serious a task to them as it would have been if they had carried any valuable object to their master's house. Okay, so similarly this bride was also priceless to them, as well as to, of course, to her in-laws. Okay, so that's why she has been compared to a pearl, not only to describe her beauty, but also to bring out or to explain her value as a woman, her value as a human being in the society. Now, in the next stanza, the poet or the Palanquin Bearers, they say, softly, oh softly we bear her along. She hangs like a star in the dew of our song. Okay. Now, over here, she has been compared to a star. She looks bright. Now, a star over here, comparison to a star has many reasons why. The very first thing, a star, see, she hangs like a star in the dew of her song. Another word, dew. Now, dew drops, which we find early in the morning. Okay, dew drops, they have a very cooling and a soothing effect on us. Now, over here, a star in the dew of our song means, or it can be compared to a morning star. Okay, now as we all know, the planet Venus is known to be the morning star. Now, why do you think the poet has compared the bride to Venus, or has compared her to the morning star? Because the morning star doesn't twinkle, the morning star does not twinkle, but it shines brightly and consistently. Morning star does not twinkle, but shines brightly and consistently, and is always promising in nature. promise of what? Promise of a new beginning, promise of a new morning, a new day, right? So this bride, this newlywed bride, was also very, very promising in herself, because she was about to beginning a new life. She was about to begin to create a new identity, not only to herself but also to the entire family to which she was moving. Okay, she was an emblem of a promise of a new future. She was an emblem of a promise of a new beginning. Okay, that is why she has been compared to a morning star. The bride was a symbol of a promise of a new beginning, of creation, of a future. Okay, she springs like a beam on the brow of the tide. She falls like a tear from the eyes of a bride. She springs like a beam, a ray of light. Okay, over here she has been compared to a beam, just to explain the quick and the spriteful nature of a woman. Okay, a woman is it not only describes, so it has been she has been compared to a ray of light for many reasons. Light means hope, right? Light means hope. Again, light means promise. And the movement of light, we all know it's the fastest, right? A light is the fastest, a ray of light is the fastest moving thing than any other element on earth. So it describes the spriteful nature of a woman. It does not only describe her physical quickness, it also says how a lady quickly transforms her roles in life and in society, right? How quickly she changes her identities, how quickly. So it not only describes the physical movement of the bride, but it also explains the quickness or the readiness with which she transforms her roles in society, right? Just a few hours back, this bride was just a daughter. Okay, she was just a daughter of her parents, and within next few hours she will transform into another new identity. She will achieve another new identity in the society. She will be a wife, she will be a daughter-in-law, and very quickly she will be a mother. She will be again an emblem of creation separation in the society, right? Few hours back she was a daughter, and again how quickly, just within a journey from, it just takes a journey from the parents, from the parents' house to the in-laws' house. For a woman, to transform her identity, right? Transform her identity into a wife, a daughter-in-law, see, transforms into a wife, a daughter-in-law, or a mother. So can you understand why has she been compared to a beam of light? Why has she been compared to a ray of light? Just as the sun rays, when the sun rays, they fall on the waves of rivers and lakes, it creates a glittering effect, right? The entire surroundings glitters in the ray of the sunlight falling on the waves, okay, falling on waters. So similarly, a woman also, she has the glistening or the glittering quality, the glittering capacity rather, it is in her light, it is under her care and protection that the entire family, glitters and glistens. A woman has the quality of brightening up and rejuvenating up her entire surrounding, just like the sunlight. All right, she's as bright, as warm as the sunlight, the rays of light. Okay, she falls like a tear from the eyes of a bride. Again, on the other hand, she, no matter, because a tear from the eyes of a bride, she was leaving her parents' house, she was leaving her parents forever, so definitely she was very, very sad. She was experiencing separation on one hand, but again she has the quality, she has the power to sublime, to sublime, to subdue the sadness, to push the sadness deep within her heart, just to make her surrounding happy, just to bring a smile to her face, because it is with her smile that the entire family smiles, that the entire society smiles, right? So just feel how a woman, how powerful a woman is, and that is, and that power, it is to this power, it is to this capacity that the Palanquin Bearers are paying a respect to through their song. Okay, it was not only to bring down the tiring effect of their journey, but also to pay a respect to the bride whom they were carrying, to the lady whom they were carrying, to pay a respect to the qualities, to pay respect to the magical qualities that the bride had whom they were carrying on their palanquin. And that's why they again end their song with this line: lightly, oh lightly we glide and we sing, we bear her along like a pearl on a string. They again end their song with this note. They end their song again by comparing her to a pearl, rather by comparing her, or rather, by expressing her by, by putting up her as something extremely valuable, as something extremely priceless, not only to them but also to the entire society, right? So I think with this you understand not only the meaning of the poem but also the poetic qualities of Sarojini Naidu's. Sarojini Naidu. In this poem, she, as you can see, she has invested a greater portion in trying to focus on the movement of the entire action that goes on. She makes the drama come alive, right? Through all her words, through all her expressions, she has been able to make the drama come alive in front of us, in front of the readers. All the images, they signify freedom, they signify beauty of nature, right? The choice of all the words, through the choice of words, Sarojini Naidu has brought the drama come alive, right? Nature, she has tried to explain to us that nature is all powerful in herself. Nature is all powerful. We must all remember that Mother Nature can be delicate but not fragile. She is the driving force of the entire universe, right? And so is a woman. This is the message that Sarojini Naidu, through the song, or rather through the words of the Palanquin Bearers, through the voices of the Palanquin Bearers, she tried to convey, she tried to deliver to the entire world. Okay, and that is why, since the song is an ode to, rather, since the song is a tribute, a respect to the lady, to the bride whom these men were carrying, the journey becomes priceless. The path may be difficult, but it was because of the bearers that it becomes energetic and memorable. And of course, it was because of the song of the Palanquin Bearers. It was because of the Palanquin Bearers that the journey becomes easy, safe, and soothing. And it was because of the song. It was because of the song or the verse created by Sarojini Naidu that the Palanquin Bearers remain memorable in our hearts. Okay, so with this I bring an end to this lesson. Hope it will be helpful for you, and again I repeat, like if you have any doubt, you please write it down in the comment section. If you want to submit any kind of essay, any kind of answers, you may do that as well. Okay, if you think you want to write out on Sarojini Naidu or anything on the poem as well, because I would love to see how you have comprehended the poem on your own. So you can also share your own feelings, you can also share your own ideas about this poem, about the writer, about the words, about the descriptions of the descriptions given by Sarojini Naidu as well. Okay, so thank you, and just wait for the next video to be uploaded.